Alright.
So what's the website? Velocity Restorations?
Something like that.
Well, what the heck? All right, there we go. Boom, boom. And save and continue. While you do that, can I share this template with you? This one? I'm going to download it for you. And can you just delete all of the...
Oh, man, I knew you was going to do something like that.
Well, I have to set it up right now.
I knew you were going to do something like that.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Well, we got to...
You could have been adding this to a normal template instead of filling the whole thing out and then making me delete it all like I had to do already once.
Well, no, you just have to delete all the X's. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
Or I can do it if you don't want to do it.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Okay, I said it. Just make sure you save an extra copy too. HTML crawler fast, block ad and tracking scripts. No, we'll keep that. Page speed, yes. Page resources, international AMP, Google Analytics. Is that in the support?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm gonna have to get the password.
Excuse me.
Okay, put that in there, allow. And let's find velocity. Oh, I'm wondering why this isn't alphabetized. Kind of annoying. V, where's V? W, C, K. There's not a V in here? You sure it's in support?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, sorry. Okay, all devices, sampling. Okay, that's fine. Default page found. And then we got Search Console too?
Yep.
Okay, there it is. Keyword analysis. I don't know if I have to check all these other things. That's probably fine. Brand, keywords, velocity, restorations. And the data sample size for Search Console, just do 120. And for Google Analytics. And we got XML sitemaps, and we should be good to go. We'll let that load up. Hello, Khaled and Jahir. Order something for you. What do you want? A little burger or something? One of my,
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You just ate.
I know. I'm full. I couldn't eat anything else.
This is going to take a second. While that goes, let's set up some of the other crawls. Do a little screaming frog.
I already got that done.
Says, is SitePilot good for audits if only use CertBook and SEMrush? Yeah, dude, this
I've already
software.
got done.
Oh, you already got it done? I mean, it's only an extra couple seconds. I'll just do it too.
Go ahead.
I really like Sightbulb, dude. This software is really, really cool. Just because I like how
one that knows how to use it. So.
Well, I'm gonna show you how to use it. I mean, it's not hard. Like my favorite part about it is that it gives you comparison data. So like if you do an audit and then you fix a bunch of stuff and you redo the audit or the crawl, you get to see the difference in what's been fixed and what hasn't, which is really nice because if I do an audit for somebody and then my implementers or whoever goes and fixes this stuff and I redo the audit, well, now we get to see everything that's been fixed and whether or not it's good or bad because it'll show you the errors off of that or the pluses.
Nice.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, it's handy.
I gotta figure out how to make my freaking microphone not shake so much on my camera. Like, I got like this mounted desk thing, and so whenever I talk, it just shakes a bunch.
Yeah.
Wish I could like screw it into my wall. It'd be so much easier.
To do it.
Well, I can't. Oh my god, hold on. Dude, a huge gust of wind. Oh my god, I have to show you. I wish I could show you my camera right now. Here, I'll just bring up OBS so you can see it. So, check this out. Hold on, video. So, this is outside, and this huge gust of wind just came out and literally just poured water into my office. Yeah. But it's intense out there right now, dude. Like, look at this. You can see the rain pouring on the roof right there.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
I know you're not used to that stuff there. I mean, you guys don't get a lot of rain out there in the desert. But it rains like that here all the time.
I mean, it's scary out here, dude. I've never even experienced like rain like this.
Really?
Oh, it's intense right now. It's cool though. All right. It's almost done. Let me know when you got that audit template up. If you just want to upload it to Google Drive, I'll just go into it with you. I think the guy that I was talking to was the guy who created Sightbulb. Which is kind of cool. And we might be able to get a sponsored account if that's true. Which would be nice. Very nice.
All right, it's uploaded. It's in potential clients, velocity restoration.
All right. Oh wait, you already did an audit for them?
Huh? No, that's the one.
Oh, that's the one
I was about to do.
Gotcha.
There you go.
All right, so they're all done. We got 61 things that it's showing us. Canonical applies to different URL with duplicate H1s. Let's just go section by section right now. It makes it a lot easier. So no broken internal URLs, which is kind of interesting that there's, oh wait, no, sorry, indexable. No indexable broken URLs, but there's non-indexable broken URLs. It's not a big deal. Some non-indexable URLs contain uppercase letters. So basically based on what's being indexed, and this doesn't include what we want to look at as well, like author stuff like that. But from that point of view, or from a technical point of view, it looks okay. If we actually go and see what their 105 URLs. And then if we go to Screaming Frog and filter by HTML and see what they got. So about, contact, for sale, press. They got some categories, but doesn't look like they really have like a. I don't think they're using Are they using WordPress? They're just using HTML, I think.
No, I think they're using WordPress. Let me see.
No, because they have .html pages. Unless it got changed over.
They have WordPress on there. I remember I was seeing this problem last time because they created a WordPress site in a subfolder and then moved it back because it wasn't WordPress, and then they moved it to WordPress or something like that.
Okay, so this must be the old version of the site. This was last crawled November 16th. So I don't know, maybe since then.
It's exactly the same site, the HTML version and the WordPress version. Like you literally can't see a difference.
Is there a canonical or something then pointing to the HTML version? No. Why would about be indexed then as .html? Because look, even if you look at the cache, it says November 20th. Like this is what's indexed on Google right now. You see this? That's not even the actual website.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a problem. That's like a big problem. Yeah, look at this. Canonical here, .html, and it might be getting crawled from the sitemap then. Let's go check the sitemap. Because it looks like there's two versions of the site being indexed then. The .html version and the WordPress version. So page sitemap, contact. So none of these are .html, so it's not coming through that. But from somewhere, but it's redirecting, I think. But this one's just hanging right now. It's not even. So that was not .html, but this one is. And if we click on it, it redirects. Let's just make sure that redirected. We'll go into Mozbar, which should tell us.
Yeah, we were having a problem last time, I know, about the WP version in the subfolder that they put in there kept redirecting to the original version. So, there might still be a lot of URLs that are a little bit wrong. Maybe
Okay,
not.
well, I mean, the weird thing is that this stuff is getting indexed again, like recently, but it's still indexing the .html version, which is the wrong version.
Well, they just switched it over today, bro. Today.
Okay, you didn't tell me that. They just switched this WordPress today?
Well, yeah, I told you that earlier.
I didn't hear you say that. Okay, so that's what the problem.
Yeah,
okay,
they're
sorry.
moving the site because they had both versions. They had an HTML version and then the WP version in a subfolder for several weeks. Because when they tried to switch it over the first time, all their rankings dropped and they couldn't figure out why. Well, now they just moved the WP version to the root, and now it's live today.
Okay, so then based off the URLs on their site, then we need to probably re-audit this again in the future just to make sure that they're not indexing certain things like categories and stuff.
Well, I still have the other audit I did. But again, that may change now that they're on a WordPress version of the site. But if there hasn't been anything, because I did audit the WordPress version of the site, in the subfolder, so it may still have fairly accurate information, or they may have already fixed the stuff that we talked about.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's not getting indexed.
The other roadmap is in there in the same folder. Got a date on an older date, like 15 days ago or something.
So it looks like they just added these new categories in here then. Or whatever this is. It says it's a post category. Or is this a post and there's no... Okay, I think there's another problem because it looks like these right here, these posts,
Yeah.
none of them are indexed. So I don't know if there's a previous URL that they had before that got changed because of WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
But none of these are on the website unless they just, no, they added it in this April 30th. So, we need to make sure with the other URLs this isn't happening as well, because they might have just changed over all of their URLs.
They did because they hired somebody else at some point to do something on the site, and they were changing all the URLs, and I think they either changed them back or I can't quite remember what it was exactly, but
Well, they didn't change it back because some of these pages aren't showing in Google's index.
well, they may have just changed them then. I don't remember. That was 2 weeks ago, and a whole crap load of SEO ago. So.
Well, I mean, regardless of what's happened, we still need to figure it out.
What? Can't hear you.
1 second.
What? Huh? You talking? You talking to me?
Sorry, I'm back. Regardless of what happened, we still need to figure it out. Like these different URLs.
Obviously.
Uh,
but again, we know that things aren't indexing because they just changed it over to that. So.
Well, no, that's not true because the thing is, this URL here, was made on January 25th. So either this should redirect.
But the WP site wasn't even created on January 25th.
That's what I'm saying. So this was made on January 25th, and that means that this post is from then. And if this is what's showing up on the site right now, then there's a problem because the original URL isn't there.
Right, correct. And we can probably see that in the Screaming Frog crawl. We'll probably see a bunch of 404s from all the URLs being changed. So let's look. Nope. It's only showing one.
Well, that's what I'm saying is we're not going to see broken URLs if all of the links were changed because this might not have been internally linked by anything. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a video. It's a post for a blog. It's not a page.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out what these different posts were. There's 10 different posts or something. That they're all gonna probably lose traffic if we can't figure out. This is the problem with not categorizing your URL structure because now we can't see what these were tied to.
Will just sent me a message. He says it's 4:22 here. I'm gonna close at 6. We can stay late if we need to.
Well, you can call him. We should probably talk to him at this point.
All right. How do you want to call him?
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean? Oh, does he have Discord or anything?
No, he doesn't have Discord, I don't think. I think we just talked on the phone and I gave him a join.me link or something. I don't think it was on Skype, but I can check, see if he was. No, he's not Skype.
Can we just send him a Discord link?
He'd have to do all the signing up and everything. We can.
Okay. Does he have a Skype account or something?
No, that's one of the first things I asked him. He said he didn't use Skype either, I think. That's always one of the first. I said, do you have Skype or Discord? That's how I usually try to get him to get on the calls and stuff. But maybe he was one of them ones that Skype wasn't quite working. I don't know. I'll ask him again. That's what the problem was. All right, so he just messaged me back, and he gave me a Skype, but he doesn't have a mic. That was the problem last time.
Okay.
Doesn't have a mic at all, so we have to call him on the phone.
Can't really do a live audit like. Well, I can call him. I guess I can't do a screen share though. That how are we gonna?
Well, aren't you going to be live?
I know, but he's
All you
gonna
gotta do is
be
watch
getting like
YouTube.
he's gonna be getting like a 15-second playback or delay.
15 seconds?
That's how it works, bro. Okay, well, I'm gonna call him on Skype. I guess I'll just call his number, and you know, he can answer it with his phone and maybe join with his computer also somehow.
Here is the Skype.
Okay, do you have his phone number?
Yeah, his phone number. Are you still live right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna call you on Skype. Hey, William, I'm gonna call you on your phone right now too. Just 1 second. Hey.
I don't know why, but it never lets me answer because I have Skype on my phone too. So it doesn't show up on my desktop. It only shows up on my phone. So I got to decline it on my phone and then join the call on my computer.
Okay. I need William's number.
Do you have his number?
No, I need it.
Oh, it's 850.
Wait, no, can you just type it to me? I don't want to tell YouTube his number.
Oh, you're still live. Okay. That's why I asked you a minute ago if you're live. uh,
Yeah, I can't change that for some reason. Okay, it's not.
okay.
I can't add him to call unless it's a friend, so I think I'm about to call you back. 1 second. Oh my god, Skype is the worst. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Let me add Chris to this call, and I'm gonna add your Skype account as well, so you can see the screen share.
Okay.
Okay, I just added both, so you should get a request on your computer as well. Hello. All right. Can we all hear everybody all right? Hello?
Hello. I can hear you.
Okay, can you guys see the screen share?
No.
Yeah, I can see it.
What am I doing wrong? I don't see anything.
You want to try leaving the call and coming back or something?
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yep. You hear me?
Sure. Yep.
Can you not see the screen share?
Yep, I see it now.
Okay. Okay, so we started out looking at your site already, William.
Mhm.
Do you want me to refer to you as William, or or you have a different name?
William or Will, it doesn't really matter.
William or Will, doesn't matter. Okay. And first thing we started looking at was just the migration that you just recently did. You switched to WordPress today, right?
Yes.
Okay, so one thing that we already found that's going to be probably something that we want to look at is the some of the URLs changed on the site.
Mhm.
These right here. And because they're not tied to a correct URL path, like there's not like it doesn't just say /blog or something, we can't really figure out what URLs these were previously. So we probably want to figure that out. I'm just going to take some notes here and then we'll plug it into the audit in a second.
Okay.
So just because these are priorities, so we need to figure out what URLs got changed and see if there are 301s or if we should change them back. Another thing is the what was it? Oh yeah. So what's currently being indexed on Google right now is the old HTML version of the site. So we just want to make sure that you know, if we go over to what's currently being indexed, that not like anything really got changed too much in terms of content. So like right here, video, bunch of videos. But if we look at what was cached, it looks a lot different, I think. Actually, it looks about the same. It's just a bunch of YouTube videos.
Yep.
I think we're probably fine there for the most part. I mean, we'll probably want to check that if we lose a bunch of rankings or something. But as far as the different things on your site, we found some stuff. I haven't gone through all this stuff yet, so I'm just going to look through it really quick. Canonical points to different internal URL. So that might have to do with what you're currently doing for your blog posts. So basically all of your blog posts are pointing to this press, meaning that these aren't going to rank anyways, or not blog posts, but these for sale posts. These aren't going to rank because there's canonicals from these pointing to this, saying that that's the page that should rank. So we really don't want that, especially if these are valuable pages that are bringing in traffic, because they're going to lose their rankings and they're not going to exist anymore.
Okay.
So let me just go check and make sure. Let's see if that page is bringing any traffic. So it's not really bringing any traffic, but you know, again, there's really no reason why the canonical shouldn't be self-pointing.
Mm-hmm.
For content, you do have some on-page stuff. From a perspective of just a crawler, you have 17 titles that are too long, 11 H1s that are too short, 8 missing meta descriptions, 4 images missing alt text, 4 title tags too short, 1 H1 too long, 1 H1 missing, and then you have some non-indexable stuff going on, but we don't really have to worry about that. From a click-through rate and just search engine perspective, let me just go export your Search Console metrics really quick, just so we can dive into there. Velocity. So what we do is we just take the last 3 months, we export this data right here. Copy everything that we just got from here into Google Spreadsheets, Google Sheets. And these need to get deleted, by the way, before we give him this.
Hey, did you just seriously? Oh man.
What? I can put it back. I didn't know you were working on that. Sorry.
Yeah, that add a priority list. I'm sorry. You just
Okay.
delete it, right?
So basically what you're going to see here is if you see 2 columns overlapping like this, it's probably something we want to do click-through rate optimization on. And the way this works is, for instance, Ford Bronco for sale, it's got a 1.3% click-through rate and it's position 11. So we already know that this is something we need to do click-through rate optimization on, change the title, change the meta description probably, and then also probably do some on-page SEO. And the way we do that is basically we're going to just go take all of the metrics for this. So copy, plug it into our tool, run this, and then we just want to figure out how much content we need, that kind of thing for this URL. You know, see if there's any other issues going on with the URL that's ranking for this, like any on-page issues, stuff like that, because we can do this by URL basis. So for instance, if this is a keyword we want to go for and we need to go into Search Console to find it, let's just go pages, filter by query here, plug keyword in, and this is probably the page that's ranking.
Yep.
So we would take that, bring it back over to our auditing software, search URL, and then this will give us all the different things that are recommended for this from a whatever perspective. So for instance, there's some redirect chains going on with internal URLs, I think.
Yep.
There isn't any incoming links to this page, so there's no internal linking. So that's one thing that we could easily put internal links on different pages to this, and it would probably boost the ranking of it. Oops, sorry, I just lost that. Let me go back. Should be a way to look at more of this. I don't know why it's not. It's not showing me any on-page stuff for some reason. It's kind of weird. Oh, it's because I'm just using internal. Let me go back over here. I think that'll fix it. This is sort of a new software that I've been working with, and it's really cool, but...
We just subscribed to that.
Really?
really like it.
Nice. Yeah, it's super awesome. I don't know how to do. For some reason, it's not giving me individual. Do you know how to do it by an individual? Oh, it's filtered URL list. There we go. I think that'll fix it. Go there. No. Oh. Oh. It won't let you control F. Oh, here. Is this going to work? Whatever. You get the point. We got to go through it and make sure it's all, you know. But anyways, yeah, so that would be like one of the first things I would recommend is CTR and on-page recommendations or on-page stuff like internal linking, whatever else, making sure that the content's meeting the average, adding semantic variations of keywords, that kind of thing. To anything that's going to be within like these top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 URLs. We usually go about 15, but your top 15 URLs to start out with. Going back, all this other stuff. So on page, not a super big deal. Duplicate content doesn't look like you got a lot of that. So I'm going to go back to here because a lot of that stuff is sort of covered in here as well. So about page, we can easily find this in Screaming Frog. You got an about page, contact page. Chris already apparently on that. Conversion rate optimization. So let's check. Are you doing conversion tracking on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we were until the WordPress site literally just got switched over today. We happened to work with our company that did that for us to correct some tracking issues that they created when they switched it over. But yeah, we are.
Okay. So you're doing.
Did you have a blog on this site? I don't remember.
Form submit.
No, we do not.
All right.
But you are using the post pages function, aren't you?
No, it doesn't look like it.
No.
Why is it showing up in the sitemap then?
Is it?
It's
Yeah, post sitemap. You have pages indexed as posts right now, or on your sitemap at least.
something we gotta take care of.
So are the correct redirect thank you pages in place? Are you using event tracking or are you using destination?
What we
Okay.
were doing at the time, because we were using Webflow, which is really hard to do event tracking. It's like impossible. So you have to track by event conversions through URL. So that's what we were doing. If the user ended up at a certain URL, we knew that they completed a form or they clicked the call or something along those lines.
Destination URL, destination track. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're still doing that now though with this new site. You're doing some sort of redirect.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so call to actions above the fold. You got it on the home page. Let's see about the other top pages. Search console again. I don't know why I keep closing out of that. Don't you like how hard it is to get into Search Console? It's like so ridiculous. Okay, so pages, and then all we have to do for this is just go pages. Homepage we already know has got it. Let's check this one. That's a problem. So you see this?
Yep.
One of your top traffic pages has a 404.
No, it looks like it's a redirect issue. It's for sale, but if you look at the URL, it has restorations in the URL structure up there.
Well, it's not. Okay, so this is for some reason redirecting to a 404 page.
Mm.
So yeah, you want to probably, I would try to put this back to the original URL. if you can, unless you tried to change the architecture, which I would not recommend doing that while you're also doing a migration.
Yeah, that's we initially did. They made the change to the site. We had Chris do an audit before, and we determined a ton of problems. They changed our URL structure and all that stuff. So then we made them switch it back, and then they were supposed to fix all these problems, and so we had to do another audit to figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah. Also, there's not really call to actions on these higher traffic pages, but I mean, I guess you have like the down arrows, which I guess is okay. Since you're not really doing content marketing, which is something I want to talk to you about, we're not going to say there's like one page. We're not going to talk about this free asset being utilized, but in terms of content marketing, I think it would be a good idea for building your authority and building sort of like links to your site and whatever else shares, that kind of stuff, to start pushing content that isn't just video. What you can do is you can combine the video and text together. So I don't know if there's audio in this of you talking or something. Doesn't look like it.
Not that one. Normally they'd have them in there.
Yeah, well, in that case, I mean, at least you can get it transcribed and then put into a post. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of talking, so that's probably not going to happen. I would say it would be a really good idea to start hitting on at least Google for your content, and then like either cross promote some sort of email list by like giving away a free template or something, or really anything. Could be a Facebook page, I don't care. But it's going to help you build your authority. It's going to help you bring in higher rankings for your actual main keywords. In that regard, I would recommend some keyword research as well for what you're going to hit on nationally. And the way we do that is we just go and try to, look at who else your competitors are, competing domains. We take whatever your current authority is, which is 37. That's actually really good. And we'd take, like, let's say these guys. Go back to overview, organic keywords. Try to sort by keyword difficulty within the range that you're in, which was 37, we'll just say to 50. And these are the keywords that we'd probably want to start targeting. These are obviously not really blog posts, but we'd want to find somebody that has more like national blog type content. Like, for instance, what car is Ford bringing back or something? Yeah. That's only an extra 20 searches per month or something here, but we'd probably try to go for bigger keywords. And then again, what you can do with that is you take these blog posts and then you stuff some sort of call to action in there, which is one, it's going to be a free call to action. Download the car guide or whatever. I don't know, whatever people are interested in for free. And then a paid call to action, give us a call now, contact us. So yeah, I would really say that it would be a good idea to do keyword research, come up with a content schedule, at least maybe 1 to 2 posts a week or per couple weeks, whatever. And usually do that based on competitor analysis, see like what other people are doing efficiently. And then figure out some of your top content platforms. Obviously you could do Google, YouTube. And if you just wanted to do those two at first, you could do that as well, which, by the way, for your YouTube video, since you're already doing it, you should do it like this, where you're actually going and looking at your organic keywords or keywords from a competitor and then doing SERP features and doing it by video, because then you'll be able to see what keywords you need to target within your videos and within your site.
Okay. These
are all video-based results on Google. So for your site-wide on page issues, I mean, we kind of already saw a lot of that stuff within here. I'm just going to export those and just drag them in so I don't have to manually do it all.
No problem.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Chris, did you want to say anything, by the way?
I'm just trying to get some of this this quick audit stuff. No, nothing yet. Just
Okay.
basically the stuff that you've been talking about so far.
Gotcha. Oh, it's not gonna give me a. That's kind of annoying. It only gives me the exacts. It doesn't give me the actual like counts. I don't know why it wouldn't give you that. Like for instance, it doesn't give you this.
Yeah, I mean it'll pretty much spit it out as a PDF, but that's kind of useful.
Does it do it like this? If I do it from this angle, let's try it this way. Now you see it like it'll give you it here, you know, all of this, but it won't give it to you on the. It'll only give you your URL by URL. It won't give you like the whole overview. I
I
wonder if
did
I can
notice
just.
on those post pages, there's no um, rel equals next or anything like that, but they don't seem to be set up like um, like pages anyway. Like pagination isn't present anyway, so I don't even know if it's relevant in that case. Even
Wait,
if
say it
it's
again.
set up as posts. I don't think there's any pagination set up. Like there's no previous, next, page 2, page 1, anything like that set up, even though they are set up like posts. You know what I mean?
On what
Which
pages?
means there's like no post pages. If there's no like post pages set up, even if there's pages that are posts, you know, then there's not going to be any rel equals next and prev.
Well, you can still set that up for pages. Like it doesn't have to be a post.
Yeah.
If there are multiple, but where is that showing up?
That's what I'm saying. There's no actual blog page. There's no post page. Posts page. I
I know, but
guess.
where are you finding the page 1, page 2 stuff?
You don't. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, then
Like
why
if
would
you
you?
go to anything, yeah, there's no actual posts page, the collection of posts that I can see. Because if you go to the sitemap and you
Well, that
choose on
just
one,
means that there's no post page set.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. There's no post page. So even if there's a lot of posts set up on the site, then so that's not even relevant. Is what I was saying.
Okay.
So
This on here. Oops. They're just not gonna make this easy on me. So I don't create our own software just so I can integrate it with our own freaking template.
When's that gonna happen? I'm waiting for it.
Well, as soon as my other freaking program gets done, which has been something I don't want to talk about.
I know how that goes.
Yeah. This looks a little weird, but all we're seeing here is just 11 H1s, so on and so on. I mean, this is easy stuff. We're just going to look in the program to look at that anyways. It's going to be quick fixes. Site architecture, so categorize URL structure. It looks like besides the posts, you're doing that. Which obviously we need to look at the posts, but I think the URL structure looks fine. Oops. You got for sale, this, boom, in progress. Yeah, I mean, this looks fine. All the URL stuff in terms of broken URLs, stuff like that. It looks like 25 URLs have incoming followed links that do not use descriptive anchor text. So you're using like click here or like buttons instead of anchor text, which, you know, if you're doing that for usability, I understand, but you kind of lose a little bit of the rankings boost that you would get from that normally. Has one or more outgoing followed links with non-descriptive anchor text. So you're doing like external linking without doing descriptive anchor text. Has one followed internal linking URL. These are the ones we actually want to look at because it just looks like your URL structure here. So the only pages that are pointing to these other pages you have are from these press pages. And this might actually be that blog page we were talking about. I think this is that post page. Yeah, this is it right here. It's /press.
oh, that's why they're all being canonicalized to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not really a good reason why they're being canonicalized to it,
Right.
but
Right. Of course not.
So yeah, I mean, as far as the internal and external link structure goes, we should try to maybe figure out a better way to do these internal and external links. Obviously, adding alt tags in here That's what the anchor text is going to end up being. But I don't think these buttons even have alt text. They just have title text. So if we could change these to images maybe and then add alt text to them, that would even be better.
Okay.
Um,
Creative way to do that. I could probably make it text and just wrap it with CSS to make it look the same.
Yeah, or I mean, even just doing text with some CSS would be better than that. Just because at least then you get. I mean, the best way to do it is to have the internal links within the text like this, or there's text surrounding it. For some reason, that's the best thing you can do. But these buttons really are not conducive to SEO.
Okay.
In my opinion, you're much better off doing. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
I was going to say that as long as they're an Ahref button, like, then they still read as like anchor text. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's not going to be. It just depends on how the button is really set up. If it has Ahref in it to, for it to be read as a just like it was like internal linking, like what am I saying? Contextual linking. As long as it's set up like that, then it doesn't make a difference. But still, the anchor text itself should be something that's SEO friendly.
Yeah, I think within the buttons,
learn more would not be, even if it was a good link.
Is there a way to do the button where it reads the text that's in the button as the link?
It should. That's the way I have it set up on our sleep guide.
Yeah, we got to change that up because that's a lot of links going to different parts of your site that aren't being contextual and they're not really helping as much as they could be.
Yeah.
So indexation, your indexation's fine. I mean, you only have like 100 pages on there, and most of them are like something we're going to probably want to look at in a little bit once the site gets reindexed, because right now all of it's the .html pages. Some of this stuff, like index of current builds, just really is a kind of a weird title tag, and I don't know if this schema is getting pulled over into the new site as well. I don't see review markup here, so that might be a problem in terms of your click-through rates.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, we're gonna have to see sort of what ends up happening. Looks like some WP content's already getting pulled somehow. It's kind of iffy though, because this might have been just indexed and then got removed once certain things were being done to the site. Again, it's hard to look at the index and like what should be indexed, that kind of stuff, when the site just got redone.
Yeah, you can skip over that. We're really just want to look on the on-page side of things. Your ideas on conversion optimization, those type of things. As far as indexation, all of that's irrelevant at this point.
Okay, well, one thing is the page speed for a good amount of URLs seems kind of high on the new site. 7 seconds, around 7.5, 7.6. These are all of the pages, I think, with the slowest response times. These are just images first, and then we start going into some of the URLs, which got about a 4-second, 5-second load time. So we do need to do some page speed optimization to the site, I think.
Okay.
Maybe it's compressing images. I don't really know what. Let me see.
Yeah, we noticed earlier that like it took for full paint to come through it was a little on the excessive side.
Yeah, a lot of the images are really big.
Could being held up by render blocking CSS or JavaScript, then maybe just defer it to the end of the page, and it might help some a little bit with the first paint part.
It looks like there's sort of a slow response. Well, that's weird. This one loaded really fast. I don't know why it's telling me that on these other ones.
Just means that there's something going on that page that needs to be fixed. Oversized images, maybe.
We try a different one. That's why it's always good to cross-check. 1.3, that's pretty fast, dude. I don't know. Maybe it's the tool that's giving us
Well, the cache
errors.
could have been dry for you on the first run anyway. So
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. All right, well, maybe we'll just ignore that for now. I mean, overall, this site looks pretty good. Like, it's not. I mean, besides the on-page stuff, which again, a lot of that would have to do with going through your current keywords that are ranking, figuring out the benchmarks for them in terms of your current user experience and content related averages, which the way we get user experience data is we go, let's see if this is linked up already.
okay, I'm looking at the list of, by the way, not to interrupt, but I'm looking at the list of 301s, and it looks like most of the HTML ones are already being redirected to the new URLs. I don't know which ones we might be missing or whatever, so it kind of needs to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb just to make sure, especially if there's anything linking to them as far as backlinks and whatnot. But it looks like
I got an email from our development company just a few minutes ago. Let me know that they're currently working on manually redirecting all those pages.
okay, yeah, it looks like they've already got a good start on it. So
I would say probably we want to keep a list of the pages like this. I mean, this is the perfect time to do this benchmark. We want to export all this data right here and just look at what happens over the next month with this. Because if a lot of these bounce rates go significantly higher, or if the conversion rates just drop off, stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff we want to really look at. I would say the best thing we could do right now would be to do what I was talking about before. Besides, I mean, some of the basic stuff we were talking about, which was making sure that URLs are where they need to be, doing this canonical stuff and internal link stuff, would be the going through these different pages that have low click-through rates, low position, benchmark the current content-related averages to make sure there's enough content for all this stuff, and then start doing keyword research for your national type content based on competitors. Because with your current site, I mean, besides all of the on-page stuff, which there's all this, which isn't a lot, and then like basically what we want to do for click-through rate optimization and the content-related averages, which we have to benchmark that stuff. You really need to have a content game plan to start ranking for new stuff and to start increasing your traffic, not just based on the pages you already have.
Okay.
So that's probably the top things I would recommend right away. Chris, what about you, man?
Yep, pretty much it. Of course, we talked about the canonicals. Make sure all the 301s are done. You just talked about benchmarking, CTR optimization, internal linking, and on-page. And then, of course, continued on content marketing strategy, which we talked about last time as well. So super important. It's going to help you build the overall authority of your site and your brand as a whole. So
what's the deal with the Google local stuff? Are you?
We are not a local company.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just ignore it. It's there just so that we have it.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're a international company.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, as far as all the different titles and stuff that are showing up, let me just look at what you have already. So I'm going to filter this by traffic. So I'll do bulk, or sorry, I'll connect the API really quick. Search console. Sorry, I need to go to the different search console. And we'll go to velocity. So you guys might not know you can do this, but it's pretty cool. you can connect the API, see the traffic through Screaming Frog, and then filter by that.
Haven't got to the point of convincing them to get Screaming Frog. We got the log audit, which is extremely helpful, but not the actual spider yet.
Well, I mean, you have, I think, only like a couple hundred URLs, so it would be free either way. You just wouldn't be able to connect like a Search Console API. So HTML, so what I could do is this should give me the clicks right here. And what I'll do, once this crawls through. That's weird, it only gave me it for the home page. Huh. Maybe I have to connect analytics as well. Either way, we can look at the current titles that are on here now. You know, you got your business name included. All your titles are not very unique. You know, some of them are missing. You know, you just, again, we need to do the benchmarking for the content related averages. And then maybe adjust the meta descriptions and titles according to that, as well as just make sure yeah, I mean, I can't really make too many recommendations without seeing the content-based benchmarks, but I can already tell that a lot of this stuff is going to be doing the on-page based off like the stuff we found, and then also just the averages.
I just added the Screaming crawl thing if you want to look at it with analytics and Search Console added.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah. Whoops. This would be like a lot of the on-page stuff. So optimizing title tags that are too short here or too long. Meta descriptions. I mean, you don't have many pages on your site. I mean, it's going to be pretty easy to do a lot of this stuff. But again, I think your biggest deficit, besides these word counts that are below like 200, and then we need to put the what you actually need in there, is going to be adding to your existing content, doing the internal and external links, and then also creating a content game plan with keyword research to back that up.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, this isn't a very hard audit, just because you don't really have like a whole lot of stuff. Like, you don't have a whole lot of problems. Like, you guys did the migration pretty good for the most part.
Yeah, the rest of it's really just checking to see what happens, you know, as far as indexing goes. You might have to clean up a few things as far as like, you know, you don't necessarily want to be indexing authors, which shouldn't be indexing dates anyway, unless you have it set up that way. You know, and just using, there's not really any necessity to use like post tags and things like that on your site. You know, if you're using posts, then this should be categorized with categories, that sort of thing, and then making sure that each post isn't, you know, part of a category of some kind, rather than just having default uncategorized posts.
Okay.
One other thing I would say is, just based off the keywords you're going for, you know, it'd be a good idea to just go through these and make sure that the targeting you're doing isn't too difficult, because it might be that some of these keywords would be better off, you know, targeted with like better type content or something. And then we also want to make sure that you're not cannibalizing your pages, which what I saw in Search Console was it looked like a little bit of cannibalization was happening.
Oh yeah, there was. We rank 3-4 times on the same keyword.
Yeah. So I mean, it might be a good idea to figure out a better keyword map, which is this is why I was saying, you know, it would be advantageous to go through these current keywords and just make sure that these are all mapped to a certain page. Like for instance, URL, and just make sure that as much focus for one keyword goes into that page, and then the next page goes as much focus for that other keyword. But if I look at all of your current keywords that we just got here, and I export them, And I filter from Z to A to Z. Filter. Oh, it's data. Sorry, I always get this confused. That's weird. It brought me the 1976 first. Huh. Oh, here it is. I guess. Okay, so I just grab all those.
There's also like a few of your posts are over a year old. It's best to have as current dates as possible on those. I don't know if that's actually showing as the published date in WordPress or not. It's probably not. It might just be text added to the page in the header there. But you shouldn't have any posts that are over a year old on your site. All you'd have to do is really just update them, like update the content or add a new paragraph, something to change it, as well as changing the actual date, the published date on the page. To keep it as current as possible, because Google knows that people just want the most current, relevant information. So being older could affect rankings.
Okay.
On those type of pages.
I don't know why it gave me like more keywords than it. Oh, it's because there was more in here. Sorry about that. So if I, what was it? It was 137. Need to delete the rest. One. Oh, but now it's alphabetized. Okay, I really messed myself up. Okay. Well, if I did this correctly, basically what we would see is that this would match. Oh, I can still do it. Give me one more second. I can do this. All right, delete that. Boom. Now I got 137. Filter from Z to A. Get rid of that. Put one above. Boom. Okay. So now that I did this correctly, here we go. We got. Sure this lines up. Yeah, it does. What we got is this is position, impressions, CTR. Oh no, that's position. This is clicks, I think. Okay, so now that we have this all lined up, basically what we can see here is that this right here that has 13 clicks is difficulty 4. This one is 13, and the next step would be to add all the URLs in here as well. But the point is what we can do is we can filter by difficulty A to Z, or Z to A, and you can see here your current position for the most difficult keywords. And the reason why this is helpful is because if you're going for really difficult keywords, we could easily scale those back to less difficult keywords with certain pages and bring in more traffic. So that's something that we'll probably want to look at, especially if your domain is within a certain range. So let's say your domain is at 37 and we only want to go for anything that's less than or equal to 35. And we highlight that with green. So what this is going to do for us is we're basically just trying to line up these columns. So if this is something like this, look this, clicks 29, impressions 403, click-through rate 7%. Oh wait, why would that be highlighted? Hold on. Conditional formatting, less than or equal to 3%. Why is that highlighted then? Less than or equal to 3%. There we go. So now what this does is it lines up because watch, if we have Ford Bronco, 12 clicks, 0.18%, keyword difficulty 16, average position 36, and then we find the URL for that, and the URL has like on-page issues, it's not meeting those basic requirements and stuff. Basically, we know to go and try to optimize that page first, if that makes sense. Same thing with this. This would probably be a really good one to go to for vintage Bronco, 7.3 average position, or sorry, yeah, and then only 14 difficulty with a 1.6% click-through rate and 500 monthly searches. Then we would just put the content-related averages in there, meet those, and then do some basic on-page, and then this already would probably be a lot more profitable for you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So yeah, that's probably what I would recommend first is just getting that on page dialed in based on the averages. You know, I would definitely get all of these benchmarked for the content related averages and the analytics based averages just to make sure. Well, I would wait on the analytics based averages because you just changed the UX. So just do the content related ones. Make sure those are all meeting the averages on the pages, and that all the stuff is good to go in terms of, you know, if this is a page that's valuable, like let's say this is one of your valuable pages, that it has at least half of the pages on your site, or at least 1/3 of the pages on your site internally linking to it. And then also do the same thing here, but with a new keyword list. Obviously, you're not going to have this first part because you don't have rankings for these other keywords, but you want to have all this other stuff done right here. And then figure out what a content schedule like would look like for you. Like for instance, for my website, I go and I look through all these different keywords based on the keyword difficulty that I want to go for, and I also target video type based content so I can rank on both YouTube and Google. Like for instance, how to get more social media followers. I'll write the post based on the average, and then do all the on page, make it into a video, and then hopefully rank for it. And then start bringing people into my other assets like and stuff like that, as well as build authority with because you can internal link from these pages too and rank your other pages if they end up ranking. So did I leave anything out, Chris?
I don't think so.
Do you have any questions, Will?
No, this is pretty much stuff that we kind of already knew, but it's always kind of good to hear the expert agreeing with you. So
Yeah.
Right.
Satisfying.
Well, it's kind of hard when you already have somebody who knows a little bit about SEO because it makes our job easier and harder at the same time, Easier in the sense that we don't have as much stuff to tell you you're doing wrong, but harder in the sense that, that's kind of our job. We want to be able to tell you as much stuff as possible. But I mean, you're on the right, it's good. It's a good thing that we weren't able to find that much stuff just because that just means that you're going in the right direction. So.
All right. Cool. Boss will be happy that this is done.
Yeah, and then just let me know if you have any questions. I don't know if any of this stuff maybe didn't necessarily make sense, but
we had you do 2 audits some time ago, and you pretty much said the exact same thing with this, and content creation is very hard on our side of things. So that's something we gotta fix.
Well, I always try to say, don't innovate, replicate.
I had a friend that used to say R&D, rob and duplicate.
Pretty much. Yeah, but either. Sorry.
I was saying at least some variation of. We also need to get some OG data on the site too. There's nothing good for social sharing.
This
that when they moved it over to WordPress, that's something that we're working on right now.
Yeah, and I got a 1.3 second load time on the homepage, like first time. So it was probably just the cache was cold when you looked at it. It was dry. I mean.
Yeah, I mean the other thing too, it's hard to audit sites that are just migrated over because
Right.
we don't really know, when we look at analytics, what's going to end up happening. So like,
Mhm.
I mean, it's a good thing that you called us so that we could, make sure that we looked at the, URLs that messed up and anything like that. There's nothing major that maybe you guys,
When they
missed.
first moved over to the site, I don't even remember when it was. Chris did the audit, and when we noticed it, but it had like completely tanked us. They just and all they did was clone the website that we had and just converted it into WordPress. And then we took it down and made them fix the problems that was wrong with it.
Yeah.
And
But
they
I
did a
think
good
one of
job.
the main things was that they changed the URLs, right?
Yeah, they completely
Yeah.
changed the structure of URLs. They changed
Yeah, they probably didn't even 301 them. That's probably why the site tanked.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was like when you look in Google and did a search for any of the keywords that our homepage looked up, and normally, classic 4 would be Broncos by Velocity Restorations, and it'd give you the metadata. Well, as soon as their site went live, it turned into just Velocity Restorations, no metadata, and it was like down on a 5th page. There's really no point even having a website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, guys. This was awesome, like always. I'm sure we'll come back to you.
Most definitely. I'm interested to see how it goes in about a month or two, just to uh, get an idea on like if this wound up really helping it or not. Because switching to WordPress from another uh, from just pure HTML, I'm wondering if that's going to make a huge difference in terms of rankings.
We shall see. I know that it's pretty code clean. They built the website literally using what's that plugin? Advanced Custom Forms Pro. I've never seen that done, which I thought was pretty fascinating. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hopeful because that makes my job easier.
Well,
But
definitely,
only time will tell.
if anything, definitely go and look through the CTR stuff because this is going to be something that's really going to, I think be a good idea for you to start optimizing based off of. And also, really, you need to come up with a national content strategy. Your site's really small right now, but it has good authority. That's a huge opportunity for you to start tackling some of these, how-to type stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I was playing last time. Like, even if you just do little pieces of how to restore a car, in a certain way or whatever, you could have videos on there and step-by-step tutorials, that sort of thing, and you get mad traffic for that kind of stuff.
well, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we thought about that with the problem. Content's such a hard thing for us because our clientele are they're generally people that do not know anything about restoring a car. They
Right.
probably don't even know how to change the oil.
Yeah.
So it's like
but
it's
here's
hard
some
for
No,
us.
yeah.
here's something that's really valuable for you to know though. You have
Yeah.
two people. You have your clients, and then you have the people who are going to link to you and promote your brand and that kind of
Right.
thing.
Good
Right.
point.
Those are the people who are not uh those are the people who know about what you do, right?
Mhm.
And so the reason why you found me isn't because um, you didn't know about SEO. It's because you did, right? That's why you Googled or YouTubed how to do SEO. Now, again, a large portion of my audience, that's you're a very small percent. You're probably like 5 to 10% of my audience that actually, called me because most of them just do it themselves. But the thing is that I don't make content to get sales. And at the end of the day, what I do it for is to bring in enough authority so that I can start bringing in that extra audience, that extra 10% that's going to end up hiring me. And then also just promote my overall brand in the first place so that it makes it easier for me to end up ranking and doing whatever I want to do for my actual money type keywords.
Yep.
And it's that part of that live video that I'm going to show my boss what you just said.
All right. Well, it's at the very end, so I'll just
Yep.
end it with that. I'm going to end it right now.